is YouTube smashing, dashing, gliding through with a little bit of energy. Big Flaco, brother, man. It's such a great pleasure to hear from you, man. How are you doing, brother?
Well, today, man, I just posted bail. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here to clear up a little bit of things. I do plan on stepping away from YouTube for a minute, maybe permanently. But it felt necessary for me to come on here and address, those that were part of our path when we first started this stuff, and to give people more clarity of certain things and where I stand today.
Man, I just want to go ahead and thank you, man. Thank you for reaching out to me, and thank you for allowing me to be the one, man, to hear from you, man, and hearing your side of things. Of course, man, I know that there's some things you can and cannot talk about, so I will leave that up to you on what you can discuss. Of course, man, we all want to know, man, what the heck is going on, brother? What happened?
Well, I posted bail, right? I'm not going to talk about any details about any type of case. I'm not going to say I was involved in anything, I did anything, or whatnot. I will say this. Prayers to anybody that's ever been a victim of any type of, violence, whether it's justified violence, self-defense violence, or just someone that's just out there acting a fool. Don't always believe what you see in the media. And my prayers to those that whatever happened that they're speaking about. I'm not saying I was involved or anything. I've pled the fifth, and I'm going to keep it there. But I want people to know that the stuff on YouTube it's gotten way out of hand, especially in this genre, right? A lot of people are doing things more for views. They're more want the attention. They're more worried about the money. It's not about the message anymore with any of these channels, and that's a problem, man. When we first came into this, it was all about the positivity. It was all about helping people. It was through our stories, And I seen that the competition that people, started to create, started to offset these channels to where people were attacking each other, and it no longer was about the message, and it was no longer fun or productive or beneficial for anybody out there. So I think it's up to me to come on and pretty much just keep it 100 in that aspect, that the moment it was no longer about helping other people and carrying a message is where everything has gone wrong with this genre.
1,000%, brother. You know what? Me personally, I've took some time to reflect on myself and my own personal actions. And I can honestly say that I'm guilty of that myself, man. For somehow, some way, along the way, I lost my own message. I used to firmly be about the positivity, man, and so were a lot of other channels. But we got lost within ourselves. And it's unfortunate, however, now that we actually can observe our mistakes and we can only grow from now, Flaco?
Well, when the riffraff got out there and started to put out a lot of false information and false stuff, as far as where they've been, who they were, and all that, when it was fake, that's where everything went wrong. Is everything's about image. So the image that people started to present started to be something totally different than what it really was. And there's a lot of people, like I said, to this day, people are using my situation to put out false information about who, what, where, when, why, and none of it's even close to being true. And it's funny, people talk about how they're 10 toes down or this and that, and they're over there fucking talking about I was probably doing this and doing that. Well, they don't even know the truth about anything, And like I said, my prayers to everybody. I hope everybody the best, but I think it's important that we highlight these issues, man. Where did it start becoming more about drama and views as opposed to trying to help people? And I got caught up in that shit. And I've had a little bit of time to reflect, and there's certain things that I need to spiritually cleanse in myself. You know what I'm saying? I heard all the different rumors I was doing this or I was on this, and 95% of that shit wasn't even true. You know what I'm saying? I will say this, that when I found out that I was being looked for, that day I'd already hired an attorney and set up a voluntary surrender, and I surrendered myself that Monday. So all that I went to Oregon or I went to Mexico, all that's bullshit, man. Even afterwards, the media said that they captured me. I was in front of the jail where I was turning myself in, meeting with my attorney when they ran up and they did the arrest and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So all the media will sit there and propagate all kinds of stuff, and we got to sit there and before we put certain cases out there, we got to sit there and look into it to make sure that the information that we have is accurate. Because I've seen a lot of false information, a lot of false stuff, and I heard stuff from my wife and someone else to someone was looking for me, to all kinds of different things, man. And I think it's important that we kind of clear the air on that.
So is it safe to say that, I know you cannot discuss the intricate detail about your case, but can you answer that the people want to know, were you targeted? Did someone go look for you deliberately and try to target you and try to take your life? Is that something that happened?
Well, I think there was probably a lot of people that were, but not in this scenario that I know of. I do know that certain things that people seen on YouTube ended up being, people started to think that were true and believe and whatnot in the environment that I'm at. A lot of it was all fake and false, and if we remember everything that happened with Savage Studios, some of these content creators have to have more of a responsibility than putting out shit like that. They could potentially, these trolls and whatnot, jeopardize someone, man. And I'm not going to go into any details about, if that was involved with this case. No, not that I know of. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've already pled the fifth, and I'm going to wait to see the proceedings go, and I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to say that I did anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here to talk about all the other things that have been going on, so therefore people have a clearer understanding. And, as opposed to people thinking, it was this or that. Nah, man, a lot of that, is people just trying to create a narrative to get views. That's what it's all about. People want the views, so they want to put out their drama or put things out there that people want to hear when none of it's even true.
All right, man. I want to ask you something, man. Of course, man, as we all know, man, of course it's one of my fears, and I'm pretty sure it's a fear of a lot of content creators, of ending up back in prison, ending up back in jail, man. I'm sure it must have been a little nerve-wracking for you, man. What was that experience like of having to turn yourself in a whole nother state, a whole different politics system, a whole different everything? What was that like for you?
I was in the mainline GP, I'll tell you that right now. I was on the mainline GP. Anybody that looks up where I was at, I was mainline GP on level 4 in the county jail there.
What was it like, man? Getting off that, landing on that little cell block. Did you get approached? Did you get hit up? Did anybody ask where you were from? What was it like?
Well, it's a little bit different. And I didn't hide where I'm from, and you know what I'm saying, that no matter what, I'll always be a Norteño, whether I'm active with the organization and all that. That's just who I am. That's my past. And so I just told them I'm a Norteño from Califas. This is who I am. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And there was a couple Sureños from Harbor, one from El Monte Flores there, another one from Inland Empire, and they have their own little Arizona car and stuff, and it was different, you know what I'm saying? But one of them, I heard, I guess, that the Norteños are green lighted out here as far as in the state of Arizona, because I guess they jumped on a carnal in the feds, and so I was kind of like, oh shit. So I was kind of told, like, don't be advertising. You know what I'm saying? Because there's those that are trying to, maybe earn their stripes. But it was different, man. That's all I'll say, man. I was respectful. Came out programmed. Even the whites tried to come at me. Hey, 2 days later they approached me. They said, "So are you running with, or do you run with white boys or not?" I said, "No, I'm from California. I'm Norteño." And that was it. And it was different, man. I wasn't there like banging. I'm just from up north. This is where I am. I'm not going to PC up. You know what I'm saying? And that's just where I stood when I went there. And I guess it's just different nowadays too. I guess people were wondering where I was going to go. I was right there in the towers on the 3rd floor. You know what I'm saying? People even looked me up. They know exactly where I was at. I was on the GP side. And yeah, it's a little bit nerve-wracking, but I've always been able to handle myself. And I wasn't there to disrespect nobody. I wasn't there to intervene with the politics. I was just there to, hopefully post my bail pretty soon. And that was it.
So you just previously stated that that you won't go to a SMI, or that you're on the GP. May I ask why that is, man? Like, knowing, man, that perhaps potential danger is for you, man.
Well, see, what I'm saying is I didn't request anything. I said, you guys can put me wherever you want to put me. You know what I'm saying? And so that's just where I left it. I've never, like, I wasn't trying to act big or bad or anything like that. I came in with respect. My whole thing has to do with me and my people. And there's not yet, and there's none of my people there. I was probably the only one in this county jail that they've ever seen from up north. You know what I'm saying? And but I was respectful. You know what I'm saying? I minded my P's and Q's. I paid attention. You know, I'm not new to this. You know what I mean? And you know, they programmed me out there probably with about like I think maybe 32 people at a time. They did top tier would come out, then they'd go off for about an hour, then the bottom tier. So we came out like 3 times a day. You know, so you know, it sounds crazy because people think it's just who I am. I've always been. I've never been one of those ones that's gonna sit there and duck and dodge any type of situation. Whatever comes my way. And that's not to act bad or fucking tough or anything. It's just that, hey, you know, you make your bed, you lay in it. And you know, I was more worried about the case as it is. Like, look, you know, like I said, if there was more stuff that would be the truth would be known. I don't, you know, I don't want to say too much right now, but all I will say this: the media made a fucking firestorm of something that it wasn't. You know.
How much was your bail?
My bail out here is cheaper, man, in California. If this would have been a California case, it'd have been about $250,000. It was $50,000.
How much was it?
It was 50,000, so I had to put up 5,000.
Oh, that's nothing.
You got to remember, you know, even though living out here, I mean, we make California money from time to time, so it's not like California where you have like a 200,000 bail or 300,000. It's a little bit different, you know. So,
and what are your charges?
Oh man, I don't really want to go into that, but they got me for aggravated assault. That's what they're charging me with. You know, and I don't want to speak too much about that because, like, you know, I still got to go through the grand jury proceedings and stuff forth like that, man. So I'm trying to stay away from any details about the case, but that's what they charged me with. You know, but even when I turned myself in, they tried to put up in the news that I was captured, which is all false. I was turning myself in. How do you get captured when you're with your attorney and you're right in front of the jail that you're turning yourself into?
So how much time are you looking at, man? I mean, realistically, do you think you're going to serve some time, or you think that, you know, you have a, you know, some self-defense on your corner?
I'm not going to speak on that at this time. I think it's better that I don't touch on that. This is more about me talking about, you know, the message about people getting back to doing positive things and productive things and trying to help people, because that's what I want to do. You know what I mean? Is get back to that what it was first supposed to be about, before it became about everything else. You know? You know what I'm saying? I've met some good people, you know, that have a like-minded agenda that said, you know what, you got a good message. Don't get distorted by all the bullshit that you see out there in social media. And that's where I went wrong, is it became more about the views, less about the message. You know, and look at all the stuff that's happened to people, like from Savage Studios to Bandit to, you know what I mean? I mean, a lot of stuff has happened, man. And, you know, life is precious, man. And I'd rather help someone than try to tear people down. And that's why I'm not going to sit there and attack none of these other, you know, fake YouTube content creators or dudes that were never with that action or anything like that. That's not even important anymore, man. It's about what are we going to do with these channels? Are we going to help people, or are we going to all act like we're tough and bad? Because we can all act tough and bad. Anybody can be tough and bad at any moment, but it does nothing to help the youth. You know, and that's why I reached out to you, because we came into this together, you know what I mean? We had a vision. But when you start to have people that have a different agenda than what we did, where it became more about views and image, and half these views were fucking fake, let's just keep it real, that's where we went wrong, trying to compete with that. There ain't no competition because they don't have those goals. They don't have those agendas. They're not trying to help people. They're more worried about what people think of them. And that's where I went wrong, being more worried what people thought about me.
You know, I kind of wanted to ask you, man, do you feel betrayed? Do you feel like people did you dirty, man? Honestly.
You know what? You can't place blame on nobody. There's some people who were faulty, and we know who those people were. You know what I'm saying? We had people that put out false information, created false narratives, and you even know that. You confirmed that to me. You know what I'm saying? You almost became a believer of some of it at one time. You know, there's a lot more behind the scenes that people don't know, and I put a lot of it out there. But you know what? I'm not here to attack people. Let them do what they got to do. Just stay out of my lane. If you want to push that false image and false agenda, that's upon them. Let's get back to pushing positivity. That's where I stand, and that's where I want to end this interview.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The quick update, Flaco, from a convict's perspective, a convict's reaction. Man, thank you, brother, man. I wish you a lot of luck, man. God bless you, man. I'm honestly, I'm a lot more happy, like I said, man, that you are actually alive. I'm happy that this happened rather than you have heard that you gotten killed or something, man. So I wish you a lot of luck, man, and I hope all goes well for you, Flaco. Much love to you, bro.
Much love.